This is the Supercarrier version of our prior M2 training mission on carrier taxi and launch, which takes advantage of the interaction with the deck crew that the T-45C can have when employing this DCS module. We will follow the procedures indicated on the flight manual of the real aircraft. In the same way as we showed during the cold start training, you can press spacebar to interrupt long texts, in case you already know that part of the procedures. Press spacebar to begin the training. For this mission to work as planned, make sure that your module options matches those on the figure. For a more realistic experience, I've intently disabled the automatic braking while taxiing, so make sure to be careful with your throttle and taxi at slow speeds not exceeding 5 to 7 km per hour. I've also disabled the turning point simplifications, so make sure to employ high-gain nose wheel steering with large steering deflection angles. I have enabled the purple markers over the active director to help the pilot always maintain visual contact with him. Press spacebar to begin the training. With the Supercarrier module, taxiing on the deck is performed along specific routes. The routes for takeoff begin at the parking spots and end at the catapults behind the holdback bar attachment points. For this mission we will use the orange route shown on the figure. Plane directors will assist us by using gestures to indicate the direction of movement along the route. The radio is not used during taxiing, only gesture signals. During movement along the route, the pilot interacts with members of the deck crew, whose instructions the pilot must follow without deviation. Crew members are visually distinguished by the colors of their clothing. Brown shirt, it's the plane captain, releases the aircraft from parking and on recoveries guides it back to parking. He will also provide commands to start and stop the engines, not needed on this mission. Yellow shirt are for plane directors, he directs the aircraft along the assigned taxi route. Successive plane directors are positioned along the taxi route, which consists of segments connected by turning points, TP. When moving along a route, deck crew members use hand signals during the day or illuminated wands at night to give us direction to reach the next TP. Currently you should see both our deck crew in front, the plane captain at our left, and our first plane director to our right. They will wait for us until we are ready to taxi, at which point we will give a salute sign to begin the taxi to the catapult. This gives us enough time to perform the prior to taxi procedure. Press spacebar to begin. Before taxi, you should complete the checklist shown. Control augmentation, all. Unfortunately, this switch is not simulated yet. In the real aircraft, the control augmentation system performs 4 functions: yaw damping, turn coordination, speed brake to stabilator interconnect, SBI, and rudder trim. Anti-skid switch. Set to off, as it is not needed on a carrier deck. Flight controls, wipeout. Move the control stick left to right and front to back, checking that the control surfaces move accordingly. Move the rudder pedals left and right and confirm that the rudder moves likewise. Trim, set. Rudder and aileron trim, check they are at neutral. Stabilator. Set to 3.5 degrees nose up, for catapult launch. Flight controls, wipe out a second time, to confirm that trimming didn't affect them. Verify trim settings again. Press spacebar to continue. Canopy, closed, locked, light out. On our mission the canopy was already closed at the end of the cold start, now just check that the canopy advisory is out. Ejection seat, armed. The safe or armed handle is located on the right side of the seat. Safe is the upward position, where a mechanical lock prevents activation of the ejection handle. The downward position is armed, and allows seat ejection. Parking brake, disengage by clicking its handle. As soon as the parking brake is disengaged, apply wheel brakes with the W key, or with hardware brake pedals if available, to avoid the aircraft moving yet. We are now ready to taxi. Let's give the plane captain the salute gesture by pressing left control plus left shift plus S keys, or by selecting the salute command from the ground crew radio menu. Usually, this first salute is to ask the plane captain authorization for engine start, but as our engine is already started, its only effect is to change the status message to awaiting salute gesture. So, give a second salute to signal our readiness to taxi. After the taxi clearance has been granted, the plane captain will do a handoff control signal towards the plane director, which will then begin giving taxi direction signals. Do not taxi yet, press spacebar and I will explain what each taxi direction signal mean. After the plane captain has handed off control, the plane director will briefly do an attention on me signal, so you know that he is our first director. While taxiing, you must constantly maintain visual contact with the current director, promptly and accurately following all his signals. Come forward, you should move straight ahead, at a safe speed of 5 to 10 km per hour. Turn left or turn right. Sharply turn in the specified direction, using high-gain steering, ideally without moving forward. Stop, the pilot must immediately set throttles to idle and apply the brakes and stop. The aircraft should remain braked for as long as the deck crew member directs this signal. Press spacebar to initiate the taxi. Release wheel brakes, keep the nose wheel steering high-gain button pressed on the stick, and increase throttle just enough to get the aircraft moving slowly. Obey the plane director, he will direct you to either come forward or turn left. The plane director should now hand off towards the next plane director, note the purple icon over him. You should now follow his signals. As we reach this second director, he should now hand off towards the next plane director, which is near the port border of the deck. As we reach the third director, he should now hand off towards the final director, who is just over catapult number 4. You are now almost at catapult number 4, stop here. Before taxi onto the catapult, complete the takeoff checklist. Control augmentation, check it is on the all position. Unfortunately, this switch is not simulated yet. Anti-skid switch. Confirm it is set to off. Flaps and slats, set to full, with a right click. Do not launch with less flaps or your aircraft will drop excessively once clear of the catapult. Trim, check. Rudder and aileron, check it's at 0. Stabilator, check it's at 3.5 degrees nose up. Canopy, check it's closed, locked and its advisory light is out. Ejection seat, confirm it is armed, on its downward position. We are behind the jet blast deflector of catapult number 4, follow the signals given by the taxi director. He will gesture you with come forward and turn signals, steer your aircraft accordingly. When signaled by the plane director, press the wheel brakes and stop your aircraft. Next, wait for the plane director to give you the signal to lower the launch bar. Then, place the launch bar switch to extend. The green launch bar advisory light will illuminate and a green shirt will come to the aircraft to attach the bar to the catapult. Once the crew has attached the holdback bar to our nose gear, the plane director will move to the side. Following the director's signals, taxi forward to place the launch bar over the shuttle. Significant power, as much as 100% RPM, may be required. When the launch bar drops over the shuttle, the aircraft will be stopped as the holdback engages the catapult buffer. Reduce power to idle when signaled by the plane director. Wait for the plane director's signal to retract the launch bar. Place the launch bar switch on retract. The bar will retract as soon as the aircraft leaves the deck, ready for the landing gear to be retracted. We are now ready to launch. Since events will happen rather quickly, let's review the launch procedure. As soon as the aircraft leaves the deck, use the stick to level the aircraft. Retract the gear as soon as possible to reduce drag, by clicking its lever or pressing the G key. Retrim the aircraft to avoid pitch up, as the launch trim is excessive for normal flight. Okay, you are now ready to launch. Perform a smooth, but rapid cycle of flight controls ensuring full deflection in all axes. Check all engine and flight instruments for normal indications and operation. The plane director should be signaling to rev up the engine. Increase throttle to maximum power. You should now give to the plane director the signal to launch, which is a pilot's salute, with the keys left Control plus left Shift plus S, and then wait a few seconds for the catapult to launch your aircraft. On the air, retract the landing gear pressing G or by clicking the handle. Quickly retrim to attain level flight, then execute a slight turn to stay clear of the ship's path, climb to 500 feet and then fly parallel to the ship's heading, 30 degrees. At 170 knots, retract the flaps using the HOTAS or the F key. Continue straight ahead at 500 feet and 300 knots, paralleling the ship until 7 nautical miles from the carrier. You are now at 500 feet. Maintain this altitude until 7 miles from the carrier. You have reached 300 knots. Maintain a parallel heading to the carriers, 30 degrees, until 7 miles away. You are now at 7 nautical miles from the carrier. You may now climb along your planned route and accelerate to cruise speed. Congratulations, you have successfully finished this training mission. On the next mission we will learn the Case 1 carrier recovery procedure. For now please exit the training by pressing the spacebar key.